UFC Fight Night, Gane versus Tuivasa. Early quick pick predictions. Now, at this point, today is August 23rd, around 10:46 p.m. Eastern Time. There are 10 fights on this card. That's it. 10 fights. We have Cerilli and Tuivasa in the main event. Banger. Really good fight. Robert Whittaker, Marvin Vettori in the co-main. Banger. Really good fight. Alessio De Chirico, Roman Kopylov. Really good fight. Nasrat Hakobyan, John McDessie. Really good fight. Charles Jourdain and Nathaniel Wood. Really good fight. Nazardine Imavov, Joaquin Buckley. Very good fight. Zarin, Perez. Benoit Saint Denis, Gabriel, but Miranda right there. Ferzia, Michael Figlak, very solid fight. And Dustin Stolze, Abusupyan, Magomedov, not too good of a fight right there. But there are some very good fights. But there's only 10. There's only 10. That's my problem with the card right now, is a lot of these fights have been canceled recently. Danny Henry, Ricardo Ramos just got canceled. Cedric Doumbé, a kickboxing champion, got canceled off the card. He withdrew. Darren Weeks is not going to get a replacement. He was supposed to fight Chris Jagos and Benoit Saint-Denis. Now he's fighting Gabriel Miranda. Taylor Lapilis, Khalid Taha. That's off the card. Manafioro is being moved to a later date. And then Abusupyan's now fighting Dustin. So there's been a lot of cancellations for this UFC France card, but it's still a very solid card, even with what we still have on it. So let's get in to the quick pick predictions. Abusupyan, Magomedov, and Dustin Stolze. Now for this fight right here, Dustin got okay striking. He's not like a super duper good striker or anything like that, but he's got decent grappling and jiu-jitsu as well. Abusupyan Magomedov, I do believe, is going to be I think it's going to be pretty 50-50 on the feet, but I give Abusupyan Magomedov a very slight advantage on the ground. So I think this one is going to be Abusupyan trying to keep range from Dustin, using his height, using his reach, and then mixing in some takedowns and things like that. I don't expect the best fight here. Abusupyan Magomedov, Dustin Stolze. Don't really put on like the best of fights, I would say, but I'm going to go Abusupyan Magomedov by a 29-28 split decision. Mike Figlak and Ferziyam in the lightweight division. Keep it simple. I'm going to go Michael Figlak to win this fight. You look at his most recent fights, a lot of them are decisions. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. He's had a lot of decisions recently over there inside of Cage Warriors, and I do think this one is going to be another one, because I mean, he lost a rear naked at Terrence McKinney, but Michael Figlak I don't really think he's going to go out there and get a submission in the fight. I do think he does have the advantage on the feet. He did go out there with a 3 knockout wins in a row. One over Stephen Hooper, another one on Oban Elliott, which was a very solid win. I do think he goes out there and lands the much harder shots. I think he is going to have the power advantage over Ferziyam in the fight. I think the striking is going to be pretty even, and I'm going to give Michael Figlak that decision win, but would not be surprised if we get a knockout. It's UFC France. We're looking for some banger fights right here, but I'm going to go Michael Figlak by decision. Joaquin Buckley, Nasruddin Imavov. I hate to do it. I really do. I want to make one of these fights a finish, a nice KO, a nice Joaquin Buckley spinning wheel kick, whatever the heck it may be right here. But Nasruddin's going to outstrike him at range, and he's going to clobber him on the ground, in my opinion. Buckley will find his way inside on Nasruddin Imavov. He might win round 1, but I think round 2 and round 3, going Nasruddin Imavov for the decision. Now, we finally go on to one where I think we got a good shot of seeing a finish in this fight. Gabriel Miranda, 32 years old, coming in on short notice, getting submission, losing to Ahmed Magomedov in that fight right there. I do give Benoit Saint-Denis the advantage everywhere. Grappling, wrestling, striking. I give him the advantage in every facet of the game. But I do think he doesn't have more experience than Gabriel Miranda, but I do give his advantage in heart and toughness, especially after the Zaleski fight. So I think Benoit goes out there, makes it a scramble fest. I mean, it's going to be some crazy scrambles in the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling and things like that. But I eventually think Benoit Saint-Denis is going to get the fight on top and start ground and pounding Gabriel Miranda and look for a submission win. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do four decisions in a row, but I have to. Benoit Saint-Denis by a decision, controlling the fight on the ground and then outstriking on the feet. Ailin Perez, Zarin Fair. This one's simple. Finally got our first finish of the night. I think Ailin Perez will get the fight down, either win by ground pound TKO or get her submission. I'm leaning more towards the TKO. I think she would want a nice TKO win to start her career, but I can see a rear naked and arm triangle, something like that. But I'm going to go Ailin Perez by TKO in round number 2. And then we got Charles Jourdain and Nathaniel Wood. This one I can 100% see it finishing. Nathaniel Wood did get knocked out by, what was the guy's name? Freaking John Dodson, who's fighting on BKFC's card pretty soon. They lose to Casey Kenny. He's having a very up and down career. Win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. It's only fitting that he's going to have a loss right here. The reaches are going to be even. The height does go Charles Jourdain, but Charles Jourdain is a much more powerful guy. So I'm going to go Charles Jourdain, round 3, TKO or by a decision. So that one, 50-50 on a knockout or a decision. Nasrat Hakparas, John Magdesi in the lightweight division. I think the fight goes all the way. John is a very solid guy, just doesn't have the attributes. If he was taller, if he was a little bit lengthier, and he was a little bit younger, he's 37 years old, I think this would be a 50-50 fight, but neither of those things. I think Hakparas is going to be the bigger fighter in a lot of aspects here, and just out volume and hit a little bit harder than John Magdesi, and gets a decision win. Then we got Alessio De Chirico, Roman Kopylov. This is a very, very close fight in this middleweight division. Alessio coming off a loss last time around to none other than, Abdul Razak Hassan. And before that, head kicking Joaquin Buckley. It was absolutely insane. This prediction might change. This is one of my least confident picks of the card, because this one can literally go either way. Both guys, the loser is being cut from the UFC, but I'm going to go Roman Kopylov. I mean, that's my early prediction as of right now. I think the fight stays on the feet, and I think Roman hits a little bit harder, and plus the fact that Alessio De Chirico is coming off a pretty bad knockout loss in his last fight. I think Roman Kopylov is going to get his back to the cage and just start throwing. Roman Kopylov with the TKO. Robert Whittaker and Marvin Vettori in the middleweight division. I'm going to go Robert Whittaker to win the fight. He's the better striker. I believe he's not lengthier. Wow. That is very, very interesting. He's in the prime of his MMA career. He's faster. He's a little bit, I wouldn't say more powerful than Marvin Vettori, but I guess you could say he does have more of a chance to finish. I'm not too sure if the punches are going to hit harder or if they're even going to seem like they're hitting harder, because Marvin Vettori eats punches like no one else in this middleweight division, but I do think Robert Whittaker will have the kicking advantage. Obviously, the body kicks, the head kicks, the leg kicks, that freaking 1-2 high kick combination is absolutely amazing. I think he outstrikes Marvin Vettori in this fight fairly easily. Marvin will make it close with some clinching and things like that, and some body kicks at range. But I do think Robert Whittaker will land more volume and land the better shots and win the fight by 29-28 decision. And the main event, Cerilli Gane and Tuivasa. I'm going to keep it simple. Yes, Tuivasa could go out there and knock out Cerilli Gane round 1, but Cerilli has an 8-inch reach advantage. He's 2 inches taller than Tuivasa. Bam, bam! I think Cerilli Gane will go out there, outstrike him for round number 1, round number 2. Then he'll be like, all right, I'm gonna mix in some wrestling. I'm mixing some jiu-jitsu, get the fight down, and get it on top. Get some ground and pound in. And I'm calling a submission. I don't know what submission is going to be, but I'm calling a submission win right here. I think Cerilli Gane's going to strike with Tuivasa for just a little bit here, get him comfortable, and then time a very well-timed takedown, obviously, get the fight down, and submit Tuivasa in round number 3 or round number 4. Alright, those are the early quick pick predictions. Finishes I see in the card: Cerilli Gane submission, Roman Kopylov to win the fight by knockout, Charles Jourdain possibly to get that knockout, Ailin Perez to get the TKO. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 fights out of 6 I think should have a good shot of finishing. But If the fights that I mentioned going to a decision are not going to be decisions, I think Michael Figlak has a very, very good shot at finishing. And then Zarin Imavov, with the ground and pound that this man inflicts, maybe a doctor stoppage. You never do know. Yeah, those are the picks, the quick picks. Make sure to put your predictions down below. And if you want to see all the bets on all that type of stuff that I'm going to be making for this card, click that top link in the description down below, because we're going to do parlays, we're going to do some money line bets, and of course, we're going to do those props. So put your betting odds, put your bets down below, put your predictions down below, and click the top link in the description for all of my bets as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.